Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the MDL European Region Final Qualifier coverage year. That is right, we got a best of 5 coming at you. The winner of this will be going to the major event that is, where $1 million prize pool is on the line, as well as those all-important 1,500 Dota 2 Pro Circuit points. We have 2 teams going at it. Definitely worthy of being here. We have one team where, let's be frank, a lot of people probably expected to be here in OG. The other side, we have a team that it's a makeup of great players, but weren't really sure, what to expect of them going into this event. Well, they're here and deserving. Mad Lads going at it. This should be a great series. I am BreakyCPK, going to be your host for this series as I've been throughout these European qualifiers, and it's been a blast. It's been this last 5 days. This being the 5th day now of this event. We've had great matches across the board, and the storyline of these 2 teams is really something. Obviously, you have OG, again, a team that probably people expected to be here. Now, I will say they're also going through an interesting situation themselves. Of course, Resolution officially announced yesterday that he's no longer part of the team. It's more so actually OG announced that they're releasing Resolution for the team, however you want to look at it. The statement officially made it seem like that they removed him from the team. It just simply wasn't working out in their mind towards their ultimate goal of ultimately winning, of course, a TI. So, Matt has been stepping in as their 5th player. I'm going to assume that is Matt. I'm honestly not 100% sure as I'm seeing it tagged up now, CE6. I don't know 100% information on that, but I'm 95% confident that is indeed Mad. I have not been informed otherwise. I guess just simply a name change. I don't know what's going on there. Point is, he's been playing for them as, he's obviously been their coach for the longest time. He's been playing as their stand-in here. Again, he's always technically been their 6th man. Point is, you got OG in that aspect, and they've made a run here. They had the unfortunate hiccup in the group stages, losing to the open qualifier team, but in the playoffs, they've ran through, and thus they're here. Mad Lads on the other side, talk about a team where they frankly did horrible in the group stages. They went 0-3 actually overall in individual games, but because of the format, they still advanced on to the playoff stage as all 4 teams advanced on. They had to make a run, and that they did. They took out Moriarty, they took out Going In, and they took out Singularity, ultimately to get to the finals here, winning 3 best of 3s in a row, only dropping 1 game through those 3 best of 3. So, really, this should be a great series here. Both these teams, again, deserving to be here, and I couldn't be more excited. All right, now that the hype is out of the way and that whole kind of recap as far as what's going on, let's take a look and see how the draft is now playing out. We have the first pick of a Earth Spirit coming out for OG. You have Jerax, you pick Earth Spirit. Things go pretty well usually, so not a big surprise there. He has been playing that mean Tusk recently as well, but valuing the Earth Spirit, more so in this case, a tiny Shadow Shaman response. On the other side, you have Cinderin. He's actually been playing a fair amount of Rasta throughout this event, so really not a surprise to see that as their go-to support. They're the only team that's been running Rasta. I don't really believe any of the other teams have been running much Rasta, at least specifically in this event from what I recall, but he's been obviously successful with it, especially in these playoffs, so they go that with a tiny. And that leads us into then the second tier of bans, which take place. Now a Nyx Assassin coming out for Mad Lads. Very interesting on the Nyx Assassin. Not your usual go-to position for hero. In fact, you look at what heroes are still available. Things like the Tusk comes to mind as much more popular pickups. But they choose not to go that here. Even something like a Bounty Hunter. I know Cinderin definitely likes to run, and we've seen it banned against them a fair amount. But they go the Nyx Assassin instead, which is, of course, a similar idea to the idea of initiation and getting on somebody, looking to pick somebody off in a fight. So, yep, and then we got a Warlock response from OG. Sorry, I got caught up there reading something in chat, trying to get confirmation. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so as you may notice, I am doing a solo cast here. I thought I had a co-caster. Unfortunately, it did not work out in the end. So I have been actually looking for a co-caster to, because again, as much as I enjoy solo casts, especially for a final like this, I want to make sure to have an analyst on. And it looks like I actually just may have got one. So for the following games, we should have one on the broadcast here. And let's just say it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. He actually just hit me up, so I don't want to spoil it. Anyways, back to the game here itself. We got a Warlock coming out for OG. Warlock, of course, definitely a strong support hero in his own right, and not the most popular, though. Kind of goes back to that idea now. Fly did run Warlock yesterday, if I remember correctly. Let me double-check on that. He ran it yesterday against Team Kingwin. Yeah, it was in the... No, that was actually against Double Dimension then. So it wasn't against King. It was in Game 2 against King or Double Dimension in that series. But honestly, pretty good synergy, especially with like a Death Prophet and Earth Spirit. Those Fatal Bonds, very powerful for spreading all that damage. It's something like a Magnetize on top of people. Very good synergy, and of course that Chaotic Offering, strong tool to use. Now his laning presence is interesting. The Shadow Word, of course, is not that burst heal by any means. It's that heal over time. Also can be that harassment tool as well. And we'll see how Fly is able to use that, and who he's babysitting, actually, in the laning phase. When they picked him up in that series, they actually picked him up with a Terrorblade, who is not available. Of course, he was one of the initial bans here, coming out from Mad Lads. Instead, they're going to do Juggernaut as their 4th pick. So for the Dire team. So pretty safe lineup, I feel like, coming out from our Dire side. As far as what they're looking to pick. Again, Juggernaut just always goes back to being one of those cores that if you're never too sure on who to pick, you can always settle with a Juggernaut, and it's across the board he's going to be a fine hero. Not saying that that's what's happening here, but in general, that's the rule of thumb. Tiny, that means he's more than likely going to be in the offlane, although in this event especially, and really no surprise, we've seen Tiny in every role other than support. I mean, on all the core roles at least. We've seen him a lot in the offlane. We've also seen him in the safe lane. We've seen a couple in the mid lane as well. So in this case, I believe it is setting up to being an offlane in the hands of Keizu here for Mad Lads. But OG, their 4th pick, they still need their safe laner as well as their offlaner. Is Puck still available? Whenever you have S4, you always got to think about Puck. Would Puck be good here? Is the next question. It seems okay. It's not the greatest, maybe not the best against heroes that can catch him pretty quickly, something like the Nyx Assassin Open. But with S4 playing it's one of those comfort things, if anything. So still wouldn't be surprised. But they go Lifestealer for now, who no doubt is pretty strong against this matchup here of Mad Lads. So they do have the vehicle and Earth Spear for the time being. And now, pending on their final pick again, especially if it ends up being something like that Puck, another one coming to the table. But Lifestealer, the 4th pick, want to get their main core out of the way on the side of OG, so No Tail will more than likely play that. And now the final bans to come. Yeah, Mad Lads, I don't know if they're going to ban Puck, because again, it's one of those cases, their lineup is okay against him. So, wouldn't be surprised to see if they just leave it open, and they're going to ban Brewmaster instead. Yeah, that definitely makes more sense. Although Juggernaut fares pretty well in the Brewmaster matchup in the laning phase, the fact that he could just spin off that Drunken Haze, not have to worry about it too much, it's still an annoying hero across the board. So Broodmother, the final ban, and Enigma, snap picked by OG. So OG going a wombo combo lineup of sorts. Love it. Wombo combo lineup of sorts. Sorry, I'm still talking to that. The co-caster that will be joining me here shortly. Anyways, Enigma. That's an interesting final pick because, again, back to the Wombo combo idea with a Warlock, a Death Prophet. I mean, it's pretty crazy across the board. If they're going into team fights, Mad Lads is not going to be the happiest initiating into team fights. They're going to instead be looking for pickoffs and elsewhere as their mid heroes their final pick. So who do they want to match up against the Death Prophet?
Enchantress.
Oh, interesting. So they go Enchantress with their final pick. So that means Tiny will most likely be in the middle lane. And Juggernaut's going to be in the hands of Madara in the safe lane. But yeah, it is going to be a Qualifier Tiny. So it goes back to that. We have been seeing Tiny in really all 3 of the core roles across the board. So Enchantress will be the offlane hero. Keizu, I know that's a comfortable hero for him. He plays it a fair amount. Has played it several times here in this event. Why Enchantress, though? The enchant ability itself, and obviously being able to take over the Indian army. As far as the laning phase go, going to be matched up against that Lifestealer, as well as the Warlock. And I guess, yeah, against Lifestealer, well, Rage is one thing, but the idea that her passive will allow her to stay alive in the laning phase, and of course, a natural attendance. to heal her up when need be. But interesting Enchantress pickup, definitely, coming out from Mad Lads right here. Just assumed that was going to be a tiny offlane, but not the case. All right. So lineups are set now for either side. And no surprise, Mad Lads, the team of pausing as we're going into the game. I swear, they literally have paused the game pretty much every time they start to load into the game. And you know, maybe it's whether it's meant to or not, a little bit more strategy time perhaps, or it just happens to be pure coincidence. I feel like it's worth pointing out on what they do here. I love OG's lineup, though. This is a lineup that's going to be fun to cast when it comes to a team fight against Mad Lads. But again, Mad Lads, their game plan is going to be looking more for pickoffs. They do not want to get involved in team fights. Instead, they're going to be roaming around with a Nyx Assassin, Tiny getting that Shadow Blade and Blink Dagger, perhaps, and Enchantress, sending her minions around as well. So OG vision is going to be important for them, making sure not to get picked off accordingly. So, all right. Looks like we're coming out of the pause. Again, this is a major event, guys. This is it. The winner of this series moves on to the MDL Major, that is the main event, $1 million prize pool. All those points on the line. Really, it's I've had to remind myself constantly throughout this event because, again, you go into it and it's a mixture of, obviously, there's a couple of teams that aren't playing in it, because they are invited in the case of Team Secret. Team Liquid was not invited, but well, okay, so to be clear on that, I know that's been brought up several times. Team Liquid was invited to this event, guys. However, they chose to decline it, according to the MDL organization, because of a scheduling conflict. It just wasn't going to work out for them. So I know people were, on top of MDL, like, what the hell? How can you not even invite Liquid? But the fact that they weren't even in these qualifiers should pretty much tell you something. That was probably the case anyways, and they did later confirm that was the case. So Liquid choosing not to participate in this event. So you already are starting to get, down the tier list, and then you have the situation with OG now, as we now know, where Resolution is no longer part of the team, so they're playing with their coach in Mad. You have the Final Tribe playing at the GESC LAN, where they just finished playing themselves, and that is wrapping up now as we speak, actually. So the European region, especially with these qualifiers, fairly open going into it, and we knew that, and it's kind of played out that way. It's been some interesting results throughout, but again, OG versus Mad Lads ends up being our final matchup here. All right. That was OG on the side of the Dire. He managed to wrap around over here. Very interesting. They could get a very deep ward, actually, at this bottom lane at the Tier 2 tower. As Casey's falling back, but Buryu, he's the one that has to be careful. I don't know if they saw him there for a split second. They're going to see him soon, perhaps. No, Nyx Assassin is going to stay on the uphill for now. He's going to try to snipe the bounty rune. Obviously, Air Spirit Seeds is here, but Buryu will pick it up first, and Mad Lads actually gets the 3 bounty runes. But at what cost now for Nyx Assassin? He could be in some trouble. Jarek's running him down with an Orb of Venom. Get the open wounds. They do not have another stun. Very smart decision there, of course. I guess they, well, technically didn't even have a stun in the first place. So he just TPs out freely. Pretty much knew that he had that out if it came to it. So he's fine, just taking some damage. Ultimately, again, it secures that 3rd bounty rune in favor of Mad Lads. So strong start for them, but the laning phase now upon us here. And Enchantress actually does get her Nature's Attendant level 1. Is going to pop in here as Nyx Assassin comes back in, and No Tail having to back off because of that. But clearly OG is going to want to harass as much as they can. As middle lane, Jarex, he's being spun down. So Madara's setting up in the middle lane, and this might be first blood. No, just out of range. Now Madara's in trouble. The very far at the last second, the final auto attack. It's not enough damage, though. Down to 4 life, I believe it was. Wow, close call on either side. Earth Spirit and Juggernaut both getting very low, but neither going down to the end. Jarex, he actually dies in neutral creeps, so that's definitely a purpose sacrifice there. I figured it's not worth running all the way back and everything, so just kills himself, and in 15 seconds he'll be back up. So still the first blood bounty is upon us here. But yeah, interesting decision to send Juggernaut actually to the middle lane with the Rasta to match up against the Death Prophet. Did not like the idea of Tiny going up against her. It definitely makes sense. That Spirit Siphon would have no doubt been annoying. So Back in the lane, it gets the lane back for Tiny. Back to the middle lane, Madara spins off as the rolling boulder hits. He does have a salve, or no, that's Death Prophet. Does he have a salve? No. He does not have a salve currently, so going to have to rely on those tangos to regen for the time being. So it's going to be a slow regen, so Death Prophet should be able to really start picking up in that CS, and she's already winning it by quite a bit. 7-2 against a 3-0 Juggernaut, actually. Make it 4-0 for the time being. As for at the top lane, though, he's going solo against the Tiny. Tiny tossing him back in, actually. Using that tree to thwack him down. He's going to run after him. 2 more seconds had a toss, but Enigma's a little bit too fast as Mad middle lane. Saying hello to Cinderin as he runs in with the haste rune control. So you see the bounty runes being picked up on either side. Hey guys, give me a second to, might be a little bit of an audio delay. Again, my stream for some reason, it's these last couple of months. Over time, the audio gets delayed, and I still had the setting on, so I just turned that off. So hopefully it is better now. Let me know if it is better for sure when you guys hear this in a couple minutes from now. Anywho, still no first blood as we approach now 3 minutes into this game. You have bottom lane Lifestealer. How's he doing? He's 12-2 against a 12-4 Enchantress. So Keizu definitely doing his part when it comes to CS as well. That's top lane Enigma. We'll port back in. It looks like he went all the way back to base to get his regen on. But if I had to guess, there would probably be our first kill in the middle lane the way things are going. But yeah, bottom lane, it's definitely potential as well. Lifestealer doesn't have that rage just yet. So Enchantress, not the most ideal target now with an untouchable. Middle lane, they're going for Death Prophet. It's going to be stopped, though. Cinderin, he's the one that's in trouble now. Spin from Madara on top of Jerix. This whole time, Jerix goes for the TP out. It's not going to work out, though. They did get the first blood, though, just before. But now Madara running after Mad. Taking that tower hit, if he gets a Crypt Swarm, but not nearly enough mana for it. So Madara will be fine, but yeah, very close call. Jerix, that was a good decision by his part. I mean, if he runs right there, he's going to be run down anyway, so might as well try to TP out. And it seemed like it was pretty close, but still the first blood going the way of OG. So overall, that exchange working to their benefit. Again, guys, resolution no longer a part of OG. I feel like we're going to have to say that many of times. It's, I know it's some crazy news, but it is official. They made a post yesterday, basically about 24 hours ago, that he is out as OG member. So CE6, or Mad, has been playing for the team during this event at least. Whether or not that's going to be permanent in the long run, we still do not know for sure. Is where things stand. Oh, nice counter word immediately. That was convenient right there with the sentry. So lacking vision now on the Radiant side is Death Prophet's not afraid to go on the uphill. Level 4. No exorcism threat yet, of course. Nyx Assassin roaming around the bottom lane, but an Invis Earth Spirits here. He did not expect that. A spiked carapace. Don't know if that's going to save him in the end. It doesn't look like it. But he lands the Impale. That Shadow Word, though, if anything, is going to take him down. So Fly, credit for the kill onto him as top lane. Up quick by just harassing. Thought he was maybe looking to get a kill there on Enigma. But no. But, man, look at Quickva's farm. 39-13. He is having a fantastic start. He's going to purchase a Soul Ring here in the near future. Already has Power Treads to go on top of that. So looking pretty good. Enigma, on the other hand, just trying to finish his Arcane Boots. We'll see if he goes at Hand of Midas or not. Jerix is the middle lane. He's being a distraction, as he tends to on the Earth Spirit. You see the Courier, yeah, they realize, okay, he's in the area. Might as well micro that this way, just in case. But Jerix TPing back to base. To heal on up. No-Tail. Wonder what kind of build we're going to see on him. We've seen a couple of these Lifestealers recently. We've been seeing that Radiance build actually coming out. Of course, more the usual is the Armlet. Maybe depends on the pacing of the game here. Radiance against this Dire team does feel like it would be pretty good for several reasons. Not only the missed chance that it provides, but disabling Blink Daggers on their side, specifically in Tiny's case. But, of course, the Armlet, the more ready to go earlier on build. S4 top lane, Madara's rotating in. S4 living for a while, but it wasn't going to happen in the end. So the rotation from Juggernaut gets that kill. Now they know he's not middle lane. They're going to take advantage of that. They're going for Center Incident with the Shackle on a Death Prophet, living as long as possible. Almost gets the turn kill on a Jerax as a result of that. But he does allow the tower to do plenty of damage. Do Death Prophet as well. So again, they kill Shadow Shaman at least, but the top tower even going down in favor of Mad Lads. And we're already looking at a 2,000 net worth lead. Pretty strong laning phase so far for a Dire team. You have Keizu at the bottom lane. He's continuing to farm very well as well. Lifestealer overall winning it, but at least Enchantress staying alive. He's level 5.5.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Enigma is level 6 now, though. Sitting on the point. No, he gets Black Hole there. Back to the bottom lane. Keizu. Oh, this time he's dead. Yeah, with that rage, Lifestealer not having to worry about that untouchable. And just chews him down. Obviously, Jerax rotation helping there as well, so successful kill in the bottom lane for OG. Middle lane, though. Death Prophet could be in some trouble. Shadow Shaman, he's lining up. Madara does have his Omni Slash now. They want to go for this. There's like one creep left. Oh, but the positioning of Mad is successful. He's going to be able to run away. No, going for it with the Omni Slash. Hoping for some crits and gets the kill in the end. Madara now, can he run out? What a dive from Madara right there. He did the math, and he was correct. Quakebutt doing the math incorrectly. He misses his Avalanche, but it doesn't matter. He has plenty of team support. And they take out Jerax as well. So beautiful dive there from Madara, just running at him. And figuring, you know what, he had the kill. That was great timing as well. You could tell he just hit level 6. They had the last creep there. And I think Death Prophet realized a little bit too late. Now we see Lifestealer jumping on to Cinderin. You have S4 nearby as well. Black Hole ready to go. He's going to be tossed in. And Mad Lads is just going to spread out. Meanwhile, over here, Fly actually gets run down by Enchantress. So this early lead looking very strong for Mad Lads once again. 8.5 minutes in. You look at the top net worth. Tiny especially. Having a hell of a game. Madara also, but it might be going down a little bit here. Spin away. He's good for now. The Exorcism still dealing plenty of damage. Cinderin soaking some up. And actually soaking up enough to die right there. But helps to keep his teammate alive. So the sacrificial support that is. Cinderin, no problem with that. And now Mad going to do his best to put some tower damage in with the Exorcism. Bryu just simply wants to try to stop the push as much as he can with that Impale. But he's going to be gone on now and hanging around a little bit too long. So Nyx Assassin also goes down only level 3. Not much more he could do right there. Being in the area, in hindsight, probably wasn't the best decision. But it's not going to be a tower kill in the end, as Keizu looks like a little bit of action on him. As he walks away, though, from the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is building into an armlet. As we see, no down when he's choosing to queue up. Oh, the Infest Bomb. Simply to heal up, if anything. Keizu's doing a good job of just keeping on the outskirts of an open wounds here. He has a wand used to pop his open wounds if he wants to. Back to the middle lane. Madara goes down, actually. I was having fun watching the footsies play, for the lack of a better term, from the fighting game scene. Shout out to that scene. Anyways, middle lane, they get the kill though on Madara. Not even sure. There was support even nearby, but they must have just caught him. Pretty low in life in the first place. It was a bit of damage over time, actually. A good 4 or 5 seconds. But yeah, Death Prophet doing the most damage right there. Doing Crypt Swarm and Spirit Siphon. Thanks, Dota Plus. Now we know. Your death approaches. And knowledge is power, yo. Nyx Assassin just trying to get some kind of level. He's level 3 against a level 8 Death Prophet. He has to be really careful here, but getting him some levels again. They would love for him to get level 6 ASAP. Goes without saying. Black Hole top lane. They're going to hit Tiny. And, man, if that Avalanche hits Enigma, you got to wonder what happens. Quakebutt just standing still. He knows that he's dead. He's like, please just kill me quicker. I want to respawn. He's up in 30 seconds now. But, yeah, if that Avalanche also hits, if it just hits Enigma, that's what really matters. Then maybe a getaway is successful. But it was not. The Black Hole secures the kill. And as we always go back to, Black Hole, especially this early on in the game, getting a core kill with it is very worth it. Middle lane, Bryu. The struggle life is real for Nyx Assassin. Still level 4, and now he's dead for a little bit longer. But bottom lane, at least Mad Lads is going to push that in. OG's response will be a middle tower push. Lifestealer leading the way. You have Death Prophet making his way all the way back to base, actually, during this. He does have an Exorcism ready, but No mana currently to work with. Tiny, he's going to open out a Warlock. Warlock goes down pretty quickly. Bryu comes up with the mana burn. Jerax, enough mana to barrel roll away, though. And he'll survive for the time being. No tell, he's just going to take a tree to the face. But he'll be fine. Out come the roster wards. They'll some Mad Lads. Not only do they defend the middle tier 1, but now they're going to push tier 1 themselves. And probably do so successfully. Yeah, not having Death Prophet there with his Exorcism, I think was the biggest key for OG, whether that was a miscommunication or what, but he had to go all the way back to base to regen, so end up losing one, and they lose their own mid-tier 1. Instead, Qualifier has his Shadow Blade finished meanwhile. So he's really working off this early start, man. Look at his net worth lead over everyone else, over 1,000 plus at 12 minutes into the game. Pretty successful start here once again for him as Jerax is setting up. Looks like he's going to try to go in, pops a Magnetize actually. On 3 heroes, more follow-up is here. Mad throws out the silence, hit Tiny as well as Enchantress. Spirit Siphon up, but no, S4 running in. No Black Hole, though, for 80 seconds. They do have an Exorcism, however. Impetus attacks from Keizu, trying to scare them off. Those good old rainbow attacks. Bryu also, you can tell it's just a full retreat mode for Mad Lads, and it looks like it's going to be successful. That's a victory for Mad Lads. They just got an Exorcism used for basically nothing. And they'll run away, as well as the Magnetize for that matter. Granted, it's not the biggest cooldown. Exorcism you're more happy about. So OG, they're going to try to make the best of it and go to the middle tower and at least finish that off, which they do successfully. But yeah, good retreat from the Dire team. Tiny looks like a SNY is next on the list for him. Enigma did end up getting the hand of Midas, as we were mentioning. And when it comes to BKB and the Black Hole, that's going to be really strong in this game, of course. So he is going to make heavy priority and going straight into the BKB, actually. Not even wanting his initiation tool just yet. At least how he has it queued up. Juggernaut. Battle Fury well on its way. Perseverance finished. Just needs the Demon Edge. So 1,600 more gold needed before that'll happen. But that's the thing with Juggernaut, too. It's not going to deter him from still looking for some fights, perhaps. Of course, with this built-in Blade Dance passive and the Omni Slash, the spin, he could definitely fight here, so. They're just taking over the Radiant jungle for now as Keizu pushing out more in the bottom lane. It looks like Drums are... No, he's sitting on 1,600 gold nearly. Okay. So he's just sitting on a casual brace. I feel like he did this last time he played Enchantress, where it looked like he was going to go Drums, and then he changes his mind, or maybe this is just his ideal build for now. I'm trying to think of what he went into next. I mean, the Dragonlance Hurricane Pike, of course, is a strong tool on this hero, and then eventually with the Ags, I believe. So really just becomes a pretty damage-heavy core later on in the game with those impetus attacks and being pure damage and all. Yep, that's going to be a 4-step, actually, priority. Good item to have here for... It's always a good item to have, honestly. OG, of course, they want to fight. This goes back to their lineup. They know their strengths, and it's that team fight. They have crazy wombo combo potential. You have Warlock, Chaotic Offerings ready to go to lead the way. Dire team, though, they're going to smoke up and try to find some kind of picks, but OG is pretty grouped up for now, so you got to be careful about who and when you jump. Nyx Assassin, though, Vendetta active. Smoke is going to pop right there. They know they're in the area. And here we go. Jerax going to jump in just on a Qualifier, though. He's running back. Meanwhile, Bryu opens up on its E6 right there. Out comes a Chaotic Offering, though. And Cinerate gets his roster wars down before he dies after the fact. Jerax looks like he's ticking down, but so is Bryu. The Exorcism scaring off the Dire team for now. And again, Mad Lads is going to go full retreat mode. They got an Exorcism used. They do lose 2, both supports, however. Yeah, Qualifier got jumped initially by Jerax, but the follow-up wasn't necessarily able to be there in time. And so Warlock had to use a Chaotic Offering on the Nyx Assassin as he was charging in. And again, that's an Exorcism and a Chaotic Offering used for only 2 support kills. So if you're Mad Lads, I still feel like overall you're pretty pleased with that, as they're on a bit of a cooldown timer now. They still have Black Hole, but without the combo and without initiation on him. I don't know how concerned you are about that at this point. Double damage from the Tiny. Oh, boy. They're going to find S4. S4, you are no longer in this game. That one hit dropped him to nearly half life right there. Holy crap. So he's dead for 40 seconds now. Armlet is finished on Lifestealer, 1,200 more gold saved up. But again, his vehicle, the Earth Spirit, no Blink Dagger on anyone right now, and that's not going to be happening for a while, especially with Enigma's choice to go BKB first. Obviously, Earth Spirit and his farm is struggling quite a bit, so you can't expect that anytime soon. So when it comes to these Infest bombs from Lifestealer, they're not necessarily setting up to be the greatest. So he's going to jump on a quick foot right here. He has to be careful going too deep, though. Takes some good damage in return with some impetus attacks. Nyx Assassin avoids the barrel roll. Has a impale stun at least with the spiked gear base. Force Staff, a little bit awkward with the angle, and he goes down at the end. And Keizu, he's trying to Force Staff him over the ledge, if anything. Yeah, he needed to position himself over the ledge, and maybe he gets away, but he's kind of in panic mode right there. And trying to survive that whole time. But Madara, meanwhile, he has his Battle Fury finished. And that farm, of course, naturally is going to accelerate now. He is second currently in net worth behind his teammate Tiny, who continues to do very well. Qualifier. S and Y almost finished in full. Death Prophet choosing to get a Solar Crest first here in this game. Interesting there. On top of the Hood of Defiance. No Yules this game. Yule's just so popular on the hero, but figures the armor. As well as that miss chance. More effective. And also going to be building into the Aeon Disc, actually. Oh, the dust. Nyx Assassin. He spots the smoke, and he gets out of dust range as well. Well played by Buryu there. OG's still going to make a play on Roshan, though. I mean, if you're Mad Lads, you probably know this is going on. It just came out of the smoke in the area, but it is going to happen quickly with that Solar Crest as mentioned. And the Exorcism commitment. It looks like it is going to be successful. Mad Lads is not in position to really collapse on this, and Mad will pick up the Aegis. Here, playing the Death Prophet.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Death Prophet is an interesting hero to have an Aegis. Simply for the idea that, you know, before it, if you pop Exorcism and you happen to die in that Exorcism, then you come back up, and of course that's not ready. Or the idea that you're holding Exorcism because you want to then use it after you resurrect. So it could be a little bit funky. Get the point. Not your most ideal candidate.
Thank you, my beauties.
Nonetheless, they give it to him, though.
Radiant are scanning.
As Nyx Assassin is hoping to find somebody else here in the jungle. And, ooh, might find... That's a Dusties! What timing right there from Jerax. And they take out Nyx Assassin. I'm just trying to think, like, what gave that away? They don't have... I'm looking at their vision perspective. They must have seen him use Vendetta over here or something, because the timing literally was perfect.
What have we here?
Juggernaut, Manta style. Almost finished on him. Well, on his way to it, at least. Has the Yasha, of course. And I continue to see a trend of Mad Lads just taking over the Radiant jungle here on their side. Basically claiming it as their own. You also see Keizu's going Hand of Midas next. So not putting heavy priority into the Hurricane Pike just yet. And him going Hand of Midas makes me believe that Mad Lads is fine taking this game to the late game if need be. And definitely can understand why. Their 3 cores are going to be pretty deadly come that point, and as long as they can avoid the big team fight initiations, then they should be setting themselves up for a very good spot. Tiny's now trying to build a blink as well, and he is just about there. So once he gets that blink, you have Juggernaut finishing a Manta style soon as mentioned. But again, Mad Lads, are they really looking to push objectives? They're going up against an Aegis right now, so it's probably just going to be a pretty slow game for them at least. They're not looking to rush anything. But OG, they want to find somebody. Once again, using the Lifestealer and Fest Bomb inside Earth Spirit. As you see on the mini-map, though, don't think they're catching anyone. So taking a look at the net worth graph once again, basically about 1,000 lead. You have under 1,000 experience. Look at the win chance. 65-35 in favor of OG. I am a little surprised it's actually favoring OG by that much. This seems like Valve bias here. Why would it be favoring them so much? Jeez.
Mine.
Must like their composition or something.
Gotcha.
Obviously, that really doesn't mean much in the end. It's just more of, it's going to be about execution. Lifestealer, oh my god, he's by himself. He's going to man up on a Cinderin, but Notel's the one that, okay, well, maybe he doesn't have to be careful because he does have Earth Spirit nearby, and there is more support on the back lines. The Chaotic Offering, it stops a TP on Juggernaut. This is going to work out beautifully for OG. Nyx Assassin did make his way out, actually, but they killed Juggernaut. That's the key target. Fly even credit for it there. I thought Lifestealer was the one that had to be careful, but that armlet toggle and manning up with the open wounds, he easily tanked the damage from Juggernaut, going with that Omni Slash. And he bought the time for his team to get there. And what did they use? All they used was Chaotic Offering, right? Yeah, they still have Black Hole, they still have the Exorcism, who, by the way, Death Prophet now is an Aeon Disc.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So they're staggering their ultimates pretty well here. In fact, Exorcism is going to be committed now in the bottom lane. Going to push down with the Chaotic Offering still up for 8 more seconds. This is at least going to be tier 1. It's probably going to be tier 2. I don't think Mad Lads is even going to try to defend. You don't defend against this Radiant lineup. Unless it's your base, of course. Doesn't feel worth it, but Qualifier, he'll take care of business top lane meanwhile. He gets the top tier 2 tower kill. Man, I feel like every time I see Qualifier, he has a new item, and then he has 2,000 gold. Like, how is he farming so well? Back to the middle lane, Jerax. So much for lacking farm on Earth Spirit. He's got a Blink Dagger. Gonna show it off there as he gets away. Lifestealer SNY. As Enigma has that 10-second BKB now ready, and he almost has his own Blink Dagger. So once he has that, these black holes, the possibility, the presence of it is going to be extra scary for Mad Lads now.
We rely not upon fortune.
Juggernaut still doesn't have that Mantis style finished, actually. He's been working on that for a little bit, it seems like. Now that Death definitely slowed him down. Shadow Shaman, he's dead. Got a shrine nearby, but it was a lost cause. Doesn't want to waste it, of course. Juggernaut, though, is taking advantage of that death and continues to push in the top lane. Going to force a decision out of OG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sorry, guys. Still got the morning voice still going on here. Death Prophet, though, again, a very interesting build choice on him as Fly. Oh, that was bottom lane. He gets caught out by Qualifier, then quickly runs away. So caught him a little bit too far up. But yeah, Death Prophet just really insisting on going that I'm going to stay alive build. As far as tanking up. On disc to prevent that upfront burst from the Tiny and Nyx Assassin. Definitely like it. Now he has a Blink Dagger as well for extra mobility. As Qualifier cuts the creep wave, preventing more of a bottom push. Roshan, another minute before he can even be up.
Dire's middle tower.
God, why did Matt change his name? Nyx Assassin. He sees us 4 here this whole time, obviously. But it's a matter of, do they actually jump, or is he just simply using this as information? Vendetta's going to be wearing off soon, so yeah, he has to back off. And they just give up the tier 2 tower. Is there any gem yet? There is a gem on Earth Spirit. So Gem on her Spirit,
Radiant's top
who
tower
is
under
invis
attack.
now with Lifestealer
Scanning.
inside, by the way. Slowly good progression here for the Radiant side, and she is 63-37 now in their favor. The fact that it's actually dipped a little bit is surprising to me, because OG, they won that fight previously here. But Tiny, I just don't get it. Like, Qualifier is a farming machine. Look at how far ahead he is. And this does have a little bit to do with OG's playstyle right now, which is understandable. They're constantly grouping up, looking for kills, looking to take fights. But Mad Lads is not giving them much opportunity for good reason. Again, when it comes to this fighting as a team, this is not a team you want to fight into for Mad Lads. So they understand that. And you have Lifestealer all the way down at 5th in the game of net worth, and he's been sitting a lot in Earth Spirit because of that, or to warrant that. As Jarex is going pretty deep here. Exorcism committed. Dire team, what do? I see Juggernaut pushing bottom lane still. Juggernaut's going to force a reaction from the Radiant side. And now OG has a decision to make. Do they continue going, send at least 1 or 2 back, or what? Mad still charging in. Aeon Disc is going to be procced right there. Doesn't have it now. Qualifier sitting patiently. Meanwhile, bottom tower taking some good damage. S4 coming in, though. Madara turning on an S4. Does he go for the Omni Slash? No, not just yet. He's backing him out. The Black Hole's going to miss, though. Madara, what a reaction. Turning around with the spin. Back over here. Chaotic coming out, though. And Qualifier will fall center and puts down the wards. He gets taken out shortly after. Kizu, the upheaval, gets forced staffed away. He'll survive. Madara TPing in. That Chaotic offering, though, doing a work from OG. And now Jerax, they're going to chase after Enchantress. They catch up to him. The Spirit Siphon helping to finish him off. He doesn't have a buyback. Madara has to spin away. Tiny, obviously no buyback as well. OG is somehow winning this fight in the long run. Madara getting away and running all the way towards the top lane. No-Tail's running after him. Does he have a buyback himself? He has to man fight right here. It might not work. Omni Slash bouncing around so many targets. Madara goes down. He does have a buyback. So as beautiful as a juke that was from Madara getting away, avoiding the Black Hole, OG still wins the fight up at the base of the Dire team, and no buyback specifically on Tiny is going to allow them to freely get the racks right here, it looks like. Nyx Assassin buys back with just a Rasta. What do you do, though? Nyx Assassin 4-staff almost got caught in a bad spot. This is easy racks, though, in favor of OG.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
As they kill the melee racks, they'll let the ranged racks alive for now. Yeah, it's obviously watching that bottom action, but really curious how Tiny,
top tower is under attack.
what the initiation was like, because they were far out. And I don't know if OG was trying to TP back as more as what. I mean, that might have been the case. They might have been trying to stop TPs, and then it's just simply OG reacted to that. And that's probably what happened, considering the Black Hole attempt was used. So that would be my best guess, is that OG was trying to TP out on certain heroes, and Tiny went in to stop them, and then OG just simply responded with the Chaotic Offering and then the follow-up. But the whiff of the Black Hole ends up just not mattering for Enigma right there. Call it planned. As he has an Octarine core now almost finished. Jeez. With the 15% cooldown reduction as well, so everything, both items and skills, abilities, are going to be fairly shorter cooldown. As Fly, he's caught here somewhat, and Rasta Ward's also used for this. Nyx Assassin going pretty deep. Probably dead. Tiny, he finds a solo Mad, but with that Aeon Disc, there's really no chance he can do anything. Qualifier finishes a Shiva's Guard. All right. So he's really using his farm to continue to progress on item builds, but OG, meanwhile, is just going for a free Roshan now. And that's going to be Cheese to go with the Aegis. Obviously, there's no stop chance for Mad Lads here. Instead, Kizu farming out middle lane, has his Hurricane Pike finished. Using the Hand of Midas right there.
Roshan has fallen to the
Well
ring.
done, my beauties.
So Aegis picked up by Lifestealer this time. Cheese taken by the Death Prophet, who almost has her own Shivas finished. And this Death Prophet is going to be insanely hard to kill now. Once she has that especially. She already is difficult, of course. But once she has that, good luck. Nullifier from Juggernaut. will help a little bit. But I believe we confirmed this the other day, that Nullifier doesn't stop the Aeon Disc, as it just triggers no matter what. So, especially if that's the case, then the Nullifier isn't necessarily going to be an ultimate answer to that. Death Prophet, he's just charging in, but again, he has every every reason to. He's feeling comfortable, and Mad Lads does not take the bait. He's going further. Mad, he just really wants to make a fight happen, and well, they're gonna get Cindering at least. Lifesteal. Nota's like, he's here, guys. He's here. Oh, they also catch Nyx Assassin. So they're going to get both supports in the end. Malaz just trying to retreat that whole time. And you just see this dip here, this uphill even in this case for OG. And yeah, now the win percentage is somewhat believable. 92 to 8%. It does seem a little high, but the comfort right now of OG is clearly there. S4, this Black Clay's like, I ain't missing a second time. Juggernaut caught. He's dead for 70. No buyback, or he does have a buyback, excuse me, but obviously you don't want to be wasting if you don't have to, but at this point he might have to. Is Exorcism ready? It is. In fact, Matt's pushing bottom lane here, and this Chaotic Offering's also ready. And that goes back to the credit of OG, how, yes, this is a very wombo combo heavy team, but they've also been doing a good job of not overcommitting every ultimate every fight. Using what's necessary. S4 putting on the Midnight Pulse. Out comes the Chaotic Offering on 3 heroes. So Nyx Assassin gets picked up. There's a buyback on Juggernaut. He jumps around with the Omni Slash onto the supports in the back lines. He does kill both, and now he's sitting on top of S4. Meanwhile, though, Keizu running away with the Untouchable. The Spirit Siphon draining his life away. The Nature's Attendant's not going to be enough of a heal. He does go down. Madara pops his Manta Style on the run. He's trying to be a distraction right now. This would be a dieback, remember, and OG knows this. Malphus stun from S4. Yes, he gets it off. That cooldown reduction, man. It's only a 9.5625 second cooldown. And now Madara, he's dead. That's a dieback, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Mad Lads maybe giving it in. But no, they're not necessarily. I guess that was enough of a distraction, sending OG all the way into the dire jungle to secure that kill. And you still have Qualifier alive for the time being, so it's not going to be the concede flag just yet. As long as Qualifier is farming like he is, still feel like Mad Lads has some kind of a chance.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
You now see a Shiva's right here.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack. Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
So to be clear on the Nullifier, what I was talking about when it not working against the Aeon Disc, the idea, it doesn't prevent the initial proc from happening. Now, the 2.5 second buff, I actually don't know for sure. So if you use it after the buff happens and while the buff's active, then to purge that off, then I guess that is potentially possible. I was talking more for the initial use, though. That I don't know if we confirmed or not, because it is being suggested that maybe you can. Which actually would make more sense and how it works.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What's this about? Flank? Qualifier? Well, he finds a free kill on a Warlock, but can he get out now? Distraction, if anything. And yes, he blinks away, so Qualifier doing his darnest to keep things alive for Mad Lads here. Jerex, he missed his initiation here. The Omni Slash going off, and S4 actually takes a good damage to Black Hole, though, in her spots. And Juggernaut once again locked down, solo buy with a minute. He pulls down, Lifestealer beating him down as well. 75 seconds, no buyback for the Juggernaut. Shadow Shaman, he's going to be engaged on now. The Exorcism helping to take him out. He's dead for 45. Where's Qualifier? Qualifia's over here, dealing with Lifestealer. Impetus attacks. Lifestealer turns his attention to Keizu now. Koikfa thinking about going back in. Not much mana to work with, though, and the Spirit Siphon on him. With that Exorcism presence, he has to keep on running. No-Tail managing to barely stay alive right here. Healing up enough. Keizu's going to end up falling, and No-Tail survives throughout it all. Great armlet toggles also coming out. Buryu's going to end up falling to the Exorcism. And at least Koikfa runs away once again. Buyback from Keizu immediately. So Koikfa just continues to survive here. But now the base is susceptible.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Once again, you have Mad pushing it in. No Exorcism now, but got that Black Hole cooldown. 102
Dire's
seconds.
structures are fortified. Radiant are scanning. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So, tower goes down. There's the initiation on a Mad, but Mad, not an easy targeting on this pop. He'll be fine. Koikfa. Does he die this time? No, he does not. He continues to run. Down goes the Rax, though. Back on a Mad. Aeon Disc obviously on cooldown. Madara does not have an Omni Slash, but he's going to go in for some auto attacks. Out comes a Chaotic Offering, though. Going to keep Mad alive. Shackles long range on a Lifestealer. Mad still surviving some way, somehow. Forced to have it away. Gets the blink off. He'll be fine. Meanwhile, in the back line, Cinnamon goes down to Lifestealer. Lifestealer being an issue. Burrier also picked off. Have a spread fight coming out here. Fly at least may get taken out by Mad Lads, but now Madara, his Omnislash is back up, ready to go. Bounce between the Chaotic Offering and Lifestealer, who goes for the Infest, actually mitigating plenty of damage. Madara comes out spinning. Koikfa running the other direction, throws out an Avalanche. The Rage prevents it, though. Madara does get taken out by Mad in the end, playing that Death Prophet. Jerax looking to get Koikfa. Koikfa again manages to live, and he takes out the Death Prophet. 1,100 bounty gold for him, actually. Can he somehow get out of this one? Oh my god, it doesn't look like it. Koikfa, he tosses him away, though. He's going to be fine for now. How is this guy still alive? Holy crap. But then you look at the base, and the Mega Creeps have spawned, and GG well played. So a great individual effort there, but it wasn't to be for Mad Lads. Well played by OG. Their team fight too strong in the end. And they take game one here in this best-of-5 final matchup. So definitely some life there for Mad Lads early on. It looked pretty good for them. Great farm on Juggernaut to start. Koikfa, of course, goes without saying in the plays that he made. But in the end, wasn't to be. OG taking game one, but we got a long series ahead of us, something tells me. That's just one of, again, potentially up to 5 games with the back and forth right here. But we are going to take that short break. Once again, guys, BreakyCPK here, your caster. This is the MDL European coverage final matchup. The winner goes to the MDL Major Finals. The loser will be coming up just short on qualifying. OG up 1-0 now. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.